Alright guys, Sebastian Milo with the Boxing Mob for FightHub TV, and I'm here with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, as someone deeply invested in the sport, I want to get your thoughts on TKO and Dana White pushing for an amendment to the Ali Act, essentially trying to award their own belts and maybe push out the sanctioning bodies. I mean, what do you think of that situation?
Yeah, I saw a report today. I mean, look, I think that's something that, I think the perception of a fighter would be, that act is there to protect me from people taking advantage of me or trying to control me. So, look, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but certainly I don't think it's a great look for the fighter relationships. There's already the feeling that, the way that these people want to govern the sport or their business or their contracts with fighters is different to the traditional way, and it is. What they're trying to do is different to the traditional way, because if they're trying to get that act revoked or changed or altered, it could give a fighter an indication. So I don't know enough about it, but I think that act is there to protect fighters.
Speaking of protecting fighters, a lot of people have always said with you earn with Hearn, right? What do you think of the pay structure with TKO and Dana White? I mean, I'm sure you've seen it.
We don't know enough about it. I mean, look, we saw a leaked document. I mean, like, literally on Twitter, I would say 25% of what you see is true. So, like, if that is the correct, I think it's the best way to put it, if that is the correct numbers, they're not going to recruit any top level fighters at all. But I don't necessarily think that's the model. Like, again, if you want to take control, or you want the fighters to do what you want to do, there's only a certain amount of fighters that will do that. Do you know what I mean? And the reality is the top level guys aren't going to sign contracts like that. So I think if and I know some of the fighters, they are recruiting, and they are mid-level guys. And I think if they are mid-level guys, the pay's fine.
Yeah.
But they're not going to get any big names. But we don't. The answer is no one knows what it is. But it is a positive. I think for Dana White to come into the sport, that is good for boxing.
You think it's going to contribute in a good way?
I think so, because it's more profile, more money into the sport, more opportunities for fighters, and probably bringing us promoters back closer together to make sure that we stand strong with the big championship fights and keeping the sport thriving globally.
Speaking of championship fights, of big names, top names, we have Butanis and Jonas here in Atlantic City. Talk to me about the significance of this, because I believe David said 11 years since the last major world title fight here in Atlantic City.
I'm so happy with the response we've had. The place will be full to the rafters tomorrow. It's an iconic venue. You talk about iconic boxing venues: Madison Square Garden, MGM, Ballpark Hall. I mean, you look at the names that have boxed here. So it's the perfect fight for it. It's a brilliant fight. I think it'll be an instant classic, and it's what we want. The best be the best. Number one be number two.
Absolutely. Well, pleasure, Eddie. And
cheers, mate.
We look forward to tomorrow.
See you soon.